Hi, I'm Jesse Hilbert.
Hi, I'm Charlie Herbert.
And welcome
to Arthropod
Adventures.
Adventure. This is Season 2.
Episode 2.
Episode The Water Walker.
The Water Walker. Today's arthropod can be found skating on your local pond, or generally showing off its impressive skills. Tell them, can you guess what it is?
Can you guess what it is?
Today's episode brings us to the world of the water strider. Can you say water strider?
Water Strider!
And depending on where you're listening from, you might know it by a different name. In Canada, they're often referred to as water skaters
Water Skaters.
instead of striders, while many places around the United States, they're often referred to as Jesus bugs
Jesus bugs.
due to their ability to walk on water.
Walk on water.
Now, regardless of what you call them, you have to agree it's a pretty impressive feat to be able to walk on water. And you might even say super heroic.
Super heroic.
This episode is dedicated to a good friend of mine, Carl. Carluch. Can you say Carluch? Yeah. I've known Carl for 25 years, and he asked if we would do this arthropod over a year ago, but we're finally doing it. So thanks for suggesting it, Carl. And I couldn't pass up the opportunity because this is a fascinating one. The scientific name for the common water strider is Aquarius remigius. Can you say that? Good job. And it was previously known as Garrus remigius until 1990 when the name was changed based on new information. No, that's what I love about science, Charlie, is it's always changing and evolving, and sometimes when you're wrong, you can improve upon it. And the first part of its name, Aquarius, comes from Latin and means of water, and that makes sense because this animal is in water. The second part of its name, Remigius, comes from the Latin word for rowers. Can you say rowers?
Robert.
And this makes sense because if you've ever seen it, it kind of looks like it's rowing on water.
Rowing on water.
Yeah. And there are many species of these water striders, but the one we're going to focus on today is the most widespread one found in North America. And if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that I have a pet peeve about people using the word bug, right? Because not everything's a bug, Charlie, right? But this creature is, in fact, a true bug, Charlie. Did you know that? You did? You didn't? Okay. It belongs to the order Hemiptera. Can you say Hemiptera?
Hemiptera!
And it's related to things like stink bug and cicadas.
We do not love stink.
We don't love stink bugs. I think these creatures are fascinating, Charlie. I don't know if you've ever seen one. Do you think you've ever seen one?
No.
I don't think so. But they can be found in the most turbulent waters. That means really, really rough. And they're constantly skating along the tops of the water in hopes of not being eaten by something else.
What can it be eaten by?
Oh, that's a good question. I learned in the article 10,000 Things of the Pacific Northwest that they can be eaten by many creatures, from birds to fish. But they don't appear to be the creature's first choice. They have something called a metathoracic scent gland that produces a not so pleasurable taste, something that tastes yucky.
What tastes yucky?
The insect.
What?
It makes animals not want to eat them. Unfortunately for them, they don't develop this gland found in their thorax until they reach adulthood. So when they're babies, they get eaten a lot.
Why?
Because things like to eat them.
Do mommies eat them?
No, their mommies don't eat them, but like fish and birds do. Now, they're about a half an inch long. That's about this big. You can't see it at home, but I'm just showing Charlie. And they're dark brown to black in color. And just like all insects, they have 6 legs, right, Charlie? And this many body parts. What number am I holding up? Count.
3.
3. They have 3 body parts. A head. Say head.
Head.
Thorax.
Thorax.
Abdomen.
Abdomen.
Good job. And each pair of their legs is used for a very specific purpose. The front pair of their legs are used for grabbing its prey.
I'm scared.
I know. And they're shorter than the rest of the legs, but we'll get to that later. The middle pair of legs. Yeah, we'll get to that later. The middle part of the middle pair of legs is used like a paddle to move around the water, kind of like you at swim class. And the last pair of their legs are used to steer the water strider. The back 2 pairs of legs also do one very important job, Char. They help the water strider walk on water. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is done with their hydrophobic legs. Try that one. That's a hard one. Hydrophobic. Try it.
Hydrophobic.
Good job. And you might be asking yourself, Charlie, what does hydrophobic mean? And it means to repel water. So their legs are able to do this because of tiny hairs that literally just repel the water away. It makes them walk on top of the water. And they also do something else. They collect little tiny bubbles of air, which aid in the floating or help them float. It's kind of like floaties in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 floating.
You do, right? And all of these adaptations,
Adaptation!
they help the water strider stay afloat and help it achieve some pretty good speed. Their front legs, as we mentioned before, are used for grabbing onto potential prey. But they can do something even more amazing. They can be used to sense vibrations of their prey in the water, kind of like the ground shaking. And once it senses the prey, it grabs onto them using a mouth part to pierce into the creature. Now, in case you forgot, part of the defining characteristics of true bugs are their mouth parts that are like a pointed straw that they can use to jab into a prey. And they eat in a similar fashion to spiders. They use a digestive enzyme to liquefy the inside. So they turn the inside of their food into a Slurpee. So once they've turned the inside into a Slurpee, or a smoothie, you like smoothies?
Yeah.
Yeah. They drink it down, just like when you drink a shake in the morning.
And it goes straight down.
Yeah. And if you didn't love this arthropod enough, you should know that it loves to eat mosquito larvae, Charlie. And I don't know about you, I don't like being bit by mosquitoes.
Me either.
Yeah, me either. They don't bother me very much, but they do get you and Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the life cycle of these creatures is fascinating. The life cycle is how they get from being a baby to an adult. So when the male is searching for a mate, he will send ripples out into the water to attract the female. So once he's attracted the female that he wants, sometimes he'll chase that female onto land where they can't move as well. And this stops the other males or boys from mating with her. And once she's impregnated, the female will lay her eggs on a nearby rock or vegetation, but still in that water. And these eggs will incubate for a few weeks before hatching. Now, these are true bugs, Charlie, so they don't go through a complete metamorphosis, meaning that they don't follow that similar pattern of egg, larva, pupa, adult. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. But,
Larva, pupa, adult.
yeah, they go through something called instars, which is where they're also called nymphs, and they kind of look like their adult counterpart. It's kind of like, you kind of look like a mini adult, right? Just short.
Yeah.
And they do the same thing. And every time they molt, they get a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And they will go through about 5 instars before they reach...
instars.
Yeah, 5 instars before they reach adulthood. And then they'll start reproducing. So the next time you happen to pass by your local wetland or a little pond or stream, I want you to take an extra minute to watch these graceful animals skate along the water surface. It's truly something to appreciate this amazing skill. What do you say, Char? Yeah?
Amazing.
Amazing skill.
Amazing skill! I hope you enjoyed that episode.
And if you have an arthropod you would love to hear about, tell us what you think about the show or found a mistake or a mispronunciation, and I'm sure there are some. You can send us an email at arthropodadventurespodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. Stay inquisitive. Say it.
And stay inquisitive.
And never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Now, Charlie, the random fact for today is that there are around 300 different earthworm species recorded to be found here in North America, where we are recording. And while it's not an arthropod, it's an annelid. Say annelid.
Annelid.
They've always been a fascinating creature for us, right? You love trying to catch earthworms?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? We might even do a special episode for it later down the line. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.